Eurogamer has reported working in the shadows, how an Assassin's Creed researcher braved the backlash. Good job, white supremacist. You know you're in for a good time with that subheading. This is from Tom Phillips, editor-in-chief of Eurogamer. When an invitation to work on Assassin's Creed Shadows first dropped into Sachi Schmidt-Hori's email inbox, the Ivy League professor deleted it without a second thought. She'd never heard of the franchise before, nor Ubisoft. Oh, I mean, she sounds like a perfect person to talk about games. Someone who doesn't even know who Ubisoft is or Assassin's Creed. Sounds like a perfect consultant. The company that was now keen to secure her services. And so when another email arrived asking for a second time if she would like to lend her expertise to Shadows development, Schmidt-Hori deleted the request once more, continuing to believe it was spam. Holy crap. Take a hint, Ubisoft. This was repeated a few times, Schmidt-Hori tells me in a video, until eventually they contacted my university's administration to ask if I actually existed. Only after her colleagues intervened and her husband, who plays video games, assured her that Assassin's Creed was a very big deal, did she then reply, I finally realized, oh, this might not have been a scam after all. Okay. Over the coming months and years, Schmidt-Hori grew to understand Assassin's Creed well, but also the worst of what working on a video game can look like when it becomes the center of a culture war. God, here we go. Her ease to be found online, her work as an academic, her racial identity, all reasons she had been selected by Ubisoft as perfect for working on Shadows. So Ubisoft themselves was racially profiling someone to bring them into work. Very, very Ubisoft of them. We're all utilized against her. But this isn't the story of that abuse. Instead, this is how Sachi Schmidt-Hori survived it and pushed back with surprising results. Oh my God, this is cringe. This is cringe. A leap of faith. How long is this article? Holy. Are we serious, Phillips, with this? Oh my God. Initially, I think they didn't know how useful I would be. Schmidt-Hori begins discussing her earliest research work to help Ubisoft's Assassin's Creed Shadows team in Quebec. As associate professor of Japanese literature and culture at Dartmouth, a prestigious university just over the border in New Hampshire, she was well positioned to help, though had never assisted on a video game project before. I didn't know any of the backstories, she says. They just asked me to conduct some research, and I agreed to do it. I mean, I got to be honest, guys, it almost feels like Ubisoft was setting this person up to be the victim of a situation instead of actually doing the right thing in a story and not inserting a black guy as the main protagonist. They're like, nope, we're pushing the DEI full force in this story, and we're going to find some fall guys or girls to be the figureheads for it because we'll blame our DEI positions on anyone we bring in here. Exactly, the scapegoats. Schmidt-Hori's contributions began by completing what she describes as small projects, researching various themes. Sometimes they'd send me photos of Buddhist temples that exist in today's Japan and ask me to verify if something similar could have existed in the 16th century. Or they'd ask me about how a certain group of people were treated in that period. It was the kinds of things you cannot just Google. Actually it is. She smiles. Or maybe they didn't have ChatGPT back then. Wow. Impressed with Schmidt-Hori's knowledge, Ubisoft soon invited her to work more closely alongside Shadows. This is what you call a cover your ass hire, where Ubisoft's like, we don't know what the hell we're doing here. We can bring in a professional so that when people try to call our ass to the carpet on why is Yasuke the main protagonist, they can be like, look, we brought in professional consultants to let us know if the architecture is appropriate, which they somehow screwed up anyways because it was Chinese architecture in feudal Japan, which makes no sense. And the trees were in the wrong season, but whatever. I guess either the people that were working on the research had no idea what they were actually doing, or no, that's pretty much what it comes down to. I don't know what else it could be. But while an expert on the subject matter, Schmidt-Hori had not worked on anything like an Assassin's Creed game previously, and said it took time for her to find her groove, providing assurances of his. Why? Why would it take you time to find your groove when someone asks you, did these Buddhist temples exist in today's Japan or just back then, or when were they? Why do you need to take time to find your groove with that? If you're a professional and you know these things, you just answer the question. I'm so confused right now. Sometimes we had to compromise, though acknowledging that when it came to historical details, this was typically for smaller details. One example was westernized styling of the main character, Naoi's father, Fujibayashi Nagato, which had already been popularized outside the game. Nagato is not his name, Schmidt-Hori admits. Nagato is the province of which he was the governor. So his real name would have been Fujibayashi Nagato no Kami, something, something. This, I need like the Peter Griffin. Oh my God, who the hell cares? Still, as time went on and work continued, Schmidt-Hori said she found herself enjoying the projects and accepting it as part of something bigger, more fun. Right up until Shadow's first public reveal to the world. After that, all hell broke loose. Hold on, so you're telling me she didn't have any concerns whatsoever that this game was moving forward with a black lead protagonist in feudal Japan? I can kind of understand what happened. Oh, okay. So she kind of did expect it. Okay. So she kind of knew what she was signing up for. Assassin's Creed Shadows was unveiled 15th of May, 2024 via the launch of a trailer featuring the game's dual protagonists, Naoi and Samurai Yasuke, a black man. I'm glad they point that one out in case you didn't know. The announcement came packaged with interview snippets from the game's creative team, all these other people. I flew out for the promotional event, which, by the way, Ubisoft loves flying people places. And soon as the material came out, I became a very easy target. Well, what you're standing for is promoting something that people are rejecting. So, yeah, when you're putting your name behind something, you're stamping it with your approval of, yes, I will work on this project. I'm putting my name behind it. I believe in what they're doing here. And if you don't, what the hell are you doing there? How are you trying to separate the I don't have any ties to what this company's doing while taking a paycheck, being flown there, and providing insight and working intimately on the details of the game? You are a part of it. I'm not saying that people should be personally harassing this person or calling them or emailing them or anything like that. But if someone's going to make like a YouTube video and pointing out, hey, this person worked here and they now work on Ubisoft and they were saying this and they got this wrong with the trees and the architecture, it's called accountability. That's what you sign up for. If anything, I would argue gamers are some of the most passionate people and they want things taken very seriously if the company is going to take it very seriously. Or you have other games like Yasuke Simulator out there where people know it's just joking about it. No one gave a shit. And I would argue that game was infinitely more fun than Shadows was because it didn't take itself too seriously. It was just fun. Shadows tried to be way more than what it actually was. And because of that, it detracted from the overall experience. Playing Assassin's Creed Shadows feels like a chore. I got 6 or 7 hours into it, have not returned to it, nor do I even have an intention to ever return to it because I feel like I've played enough to see it start cycling and doing the tropes that it always does. And I'm like, yeah, I get the gameplay loop. I understand how this game works. The storyline is atrocious. The voice acting is awful. The music and the cutscenes is off the wall, bonkers bad. Like, it just is a weird. Exactly, Sergeant Sapien. A chore simulator, 2025. It's like, here, go do this. Now go here and do this. Then listen to this awful, awkward cutscene. It's not a great game. It's not. Schmidt-Hori's day job as university lecturer, as well as her status as a published author, meant that much of her life was public sphere and easy to find. Oh, okay. Well, Shadows became a lightning rod for those with an axe to grind over how they saw the game handling its Japanese setting and choice of protagonist. You can say it. Insert a black lead protagonist. And that's what people were frustrated about. You can say that. I mean, this is a way to try to deflect and be like, oh, people are mad at this thing, and it's just because of this little thing here. It's like, no. Say what it is, because that's what the problem is. You can look me up. My email address, my office location in a non-secure building of our campus. Oh my God, that's crazy. I'm getting sued by a crazy person that allegedly, in my humble opinion, is nuts that leaked my address and doxed me while withholding her own address out there on a public document now. I have a wife and 2 kids. I don't have a security wall around my house. I don't have 24-hour police patrols. I am in the crosshairs of psychos because of stuff like that happening. Welcome to life. By putting yourself out there and doing things, you will find people that just want to ruin you because there are just crazy people out there. But whatever. But Ubisoft reeled from Shadow's backlash. Schmidt-Hori had her own perspective amidst the countless insults and threats. Oh my God. I got insulted. Oh my God. Oh no. Threats. The academic of Asian cultural studies saw the response as like something straight out of her textbook. I can't with this. There were like multiple factions among the people who were complaining about the game, each with different motivations or reasons to be upset with the company or the game or me, Schmidt-Hori notes, which was interesting. So right now, what I'm getting out of this story is people were saying mean words about me, and because I'm a public figure, if they wanted to, they could find me. No one actually did do anything, by the way. This is just, all this crazy stuff happened. People said mean things to me, and if they wanted to, they could find me. So because of that, gamers bad. That's not fair to people. You can't do that. People are allowed to voice their opinions. People are allowed to give backlash to choices that are made if they are paying their money to something that they love and say, hey, I don't like that. I don't like the direction you're going. I think this is full woke. I think it's DEI injected. I think whatever XYZ reason is here, and I'm not a big fan of it. You can do that. You can say that. You can't, on top of that, say, you could look me up. I mean, technically, yeah, I guess you could do that to anyone, though. How is that actually hurting you? I'm so confused right now. And I would say the vast majority of gamers are very level-headed when it comes to this stuff, where they would absolutely disavow this completely, but they would still voice their opinions and frustrations. So by saying, oh, you could look me up, it's like, well, I mean, I guess. I keep going back to like, so nothing happened. Right, but something could have happened. Right, but nothing actually happened. No, you didn't hear me. Something could have happened. One of the major groups upset were male gamers living in the West of Asian descent. I mean, yeah? What did you think? It would be women of Native American descent? Like what? There were many robust Reddit communities, not just for gamers, but Asian masculinity communities, mad at me because in their eyes, I'm like a sellout, she says, which is a very different reaction to that of people living in Japan. They didn't have that kind of reaction. That's bullshit. That's absolute bullshit. I covered this multiple times. Japan had the entire diet on alert. They were researching this, frustrating conversations about the destruction of property. They're trying to pin the blame on people living in the West and saying, oh, it's men. This is, you know what this is? This is a veiled dog whistle of sorts for pushing feminism. That's all this is. White men bad, or in this case, white adjacent, as they like to call it. But for Asian men living in the West, this game perfectly fitted their narratives, including that Asian females in the Western world are complicit in erasing the existence of Asian men. And because of my last name, they assumed I was married to an Anglo-American. Schmidt-Hori says, well, he's actually biracial. Well, still, they would post on Reddit and say things like, oh my God, this bitch, she has the gall to prioritize her white husband's last name over her maiden's name. She continues, oh, the horror. How did she survive these attacks? Guys, this is getting intense. She had to deal with people getting mad at her prioritizing her white husband's last name over hers. Oh, God, I don't know how she slept at night. This is bad. This is bad. She continues, it's something that only Asian men would really pick up on. And it's very interesting. I mean, the real reason why my name is hyphenated this way is when I tried to do it as Hori Schmidt, it just sounded like holy shit. Okay, that's actually really funny. As Will the Fan says, holy shit. That's amazing. Rather than take the abuse and stay silent, Schmidt-Hori says she decided to try and contact some of the individuals. Oh, that's never a great idea. Reddit etiquette 101. Don't do what you're about to do here. This is the same one that was worried about them searching her out. Now she's the one searching these people out first. Like, oh God. Oh, make the stupidity stop, please. Why? Because she says she knew why they were saying the things they were. And because she knew they were wrong. Oh, let me go ahead and correct the internet, because that always works out well for people. I tried to contact many people through Reddit. Schmidt-Hori continues, admitting that many didn't respond. But with one person, we actually had a Zoom meeting for 1 hour. Later, we became Facebook friends, and he agreed to be interviewed by my friend who is making a documentary about this. They want to monetize it. They got to monetize the hate. Love it. That's amazing. So not only is this interview happening to promote it, but they are doing a documentary about the hate that she had to deal with by people saying that her last name is backwards. Oh, the humanity. Oh, the humanity. I can't. I can't with this. This is crazy. Another person I messaged, and he was defensive in the beginning. He just repeated something similar like, Asian women like you have it so much easier than us. And by contributing to this game, you have contributed to the ongoing erasure of Asian males from global media, which, you know what? I'd agree with. Well, I told him that this is the kind of stuff I teach in my classes. Oh, she's one of those teachers. Gotcha. Oh, no. Just because I'm a teacher, I'm right. This is brutal. Good job, white supremacist. Another faction who claimed to be upset by Assassin's Creed Shadow's reveal was a group Schmidt-Hori lumps together. Oh, she's lumping people together. Great. General anti-DEI people. So now she's just generalizing people together in a group. Isn't that what they're supposed to be fighting against? Huh. These, she says, just seize the opportunity and utilize the lament of Asian men. Another textbook tactic. What did they do? Like, they said mean words on the internet? For shame. What the hell? It's white supremacist national ideology couched as being sympathetic. White supremacists tend to use Asians or Asian Americans as a tool to oppress Black people and Latinos. So this person, I can tell you guys straight up, she's one of the people that lumps Asian people in with white, calling Asian people white adjacent. I get it now. I get why there's some people out there that think Asian people are white people, because of this right here. That's crazy. Yes, this is real, Agent Swordmaster. This is a real article. Wow, 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 wow. She continues saying, this was often by attempting to contrast racial stereotypes. It's very, very typical. This, I gotta be honest, this chick sounds like a bitch. Like she sounds like one of those snotty-nosed Karens that just knows better than everyone else, and she can't deal with the internet. She's like, oh, you have it wrong. I'm going to correct you. I'm going to tell you why you're wrong. Oh, I'm not going to listen to you because I'm the teacher. So I know why it's right. You don't know. That's not going to work out great. While Schmidt-Hori messaged some of the faction sending abuse at her too. What receipts, please? Like what abuse? She notes that she did not engage with those wearing over whether Black historical figure Yasuke was a samurai or not, or those trying to argue whether he even ever existed. Why? I could make a perfect argument to prove something is correct, and then they will still use something else to complain about the game or society. Okay, fair. You have this whole article. Why not take a paragraph and talk to Tom Phillips about explaining it for everyone and let them make up their own decision off of it? Why not just say, "Oh, I told them why they're wrong," and they changed the subject and said something else is right? Say it. What did you tell them about Yasuke? Was he a samurai? Did he exist? Was he actually a samurai? I'd love to know her answers to this and how she got to those conclusions. Alongside general abuse and death threats, Schmidt-Hori says she was personally targeted due to her published work as someone who promotes child molestation. I wrote a research book about transgenerational male love in medieval Buddhist monasteries, and they must have felt like they just dug up a gold mine, she says. In the US, a favorite denouncement of the far right, I know someone that would get really along with this person really well, is that the left, including people like Hillary Clinton, run child molestation rings. Wait, can she prove that Hillary Clinton doesn't? Hold up. What is going on right now? And here I was, this woke so-called academic who wrote this book. Yeah, this is a hardcore wokey. Will the Finn says, whoa, buddy. While Schmidt-Hori felt able to contact those sending her abuse, she's not naive. She recalls emailing a particular right-wing influencer with a large online following who wrote an article about her, sending hate in her direction. It was not me. He is a professional troll, Schmidt-Hori acknowledges. Bullshit. I'm going to turn the tables and say I think Schmidt-Hori is a professional troll. I think she's the troll here. I don't think the people writing about her are the troll. I think she's the troll. He has a media company dedicated to anti-DEI activities. Okay, how does that make him a troll? That's someone pushing for the betterment of the gaming industry at large. How does that make him a troll? Sergeant Sapien says even her name is a troll. B-Man says it was Smash AT. I swear to God, it was not me. I would be like laughing my ass off and I would tell you guys it was me. As far as I know, it was not me. I feel like I'd remember this one. So I emailed him and said, you wrote an article about me, and because of that, I've been receiving threats. My life is inconvenienced. It's very difficult to attend my family, my students, my courses. And what do you think of what you did? I requested a Zoom conversation, but then he said, oh, can we do it on my platform? Yeah, why not? I mean, why not try to monetize it? This is the same chick that's trying to monetize this and create a documentary, but oh, it's only okay if she does it, right, guys? Remember, it's only okay if they do it. I said, no. I don't want your fans to be there cheering for you because you know you're wrong. If you can't stand on your morals in a conversation, that means you know deep down that you're wrong and you don't want to try to stand up for yourself because you're easily knocked down. This is just between you and me as two individuals. And I just want you to realize what you did was so much more than you probably intended. If that's the case, sounds like you have a great argument to join a live stream and make this person, whoever it was, look terrible in front of their audience to say these things to them. And I would love to watch that to see how they react to it. Imagine your wife receiving hundreds of death threats and her pictures all over the internet. You'd be worried about her, right? Well, that's my husband. He didn't reply, she says of the troll, but he took it down. So that was good enough for me. I was like, good job, white supremacist. By the way, shame on Eurogamer for giving this woman a platform. This is embarrassing. This is absolutely embarrassing. Ubisoft struggles. Numerous other staff members suffered abuse. Oh, God, for shame. Suffered abuse. Maybe they shouldn't have dragged Assassin's Creed through the mud and injected DEI to the point of forcing a black person as a lead protagonist in it. Maybe they should have thought better at the drawing board at the very beginning instead of blaming their own problems on the entire community. Maybe they should take some accountability instead of blaming everyone else for it. But no, Karens are going to Karen. Blah, 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 BAFTA, Mark Alexis Cody, all this stuff. Ubisoft sucks. But could Ubisoft have done more to protect Schmidt-Hori and others? Professor has mixed of views. When this chaos started, naturally, I contacted them thinking they might do something. And I don't know what, she tells me. But all they did was tell me to ignore it and suggest I take down all my social media profiles. That made me really upset. They don't give a shit about you. Again, like I said at the very beginning before I read any of this, they wanted to use you as a fall guy for their own DEI agenda. And you fell for it, hook, line, and sinker. And what do you got to show for it is this article and a documentary about hate that you're working on. They never prepared me or warned me beforehand. How is this Ubisoft? Like, you need to be accountable, research it. You don't just go blindly work for a company not knowing what the hell you're signing up for. Being like, oh, okay. If I'm going to if I'm joining the military, I know before I join the military what I'm signing up for. You know what I mean? You don't just be like, oh my God, I joined the military and they sent me to war? I didn't sign up for that. You have to know what you're signing up for when you sign on with a company. This is crazy. This is crazy to me. And then she's trying to blame it on Ubisoft. She's making me defend Ubisoft right now. Come on. Don't do that. Regardless, Schmidt-Hori said she was frustrated by the response and that it was something which ultimately contributed to her decision not to renew her contract with Ubisoft further. Or could it be that she saw that Ubisoft is a sinking ship and there's not much more? Like, what could they use her for? The game is out now. The DLC has been worked on already. What? I would cast doubt on if there was even an additional contract to extend, but it's hard to prove that. We do not condone harassment or bullying in any form, a Ubisoft spokesperson told Eurogamer, which is true. Ubisoft does stand up for their employees, as we've seen them say multiple times. Unfortunately, some members of our teams and close partners have faced online harassment. We are committed. And by the way, again, I don't know how many times I can say this, but I disavow that every single time. That doesn't mean we're not allowed to talk about people, though. They want to silence any criticism. They don't want any backlash. They just want people to eat their slop and say, that's delicious. Can I have more? It's like, no, that's not how this works. It's an entertainment medium. You are creating a product. Customers are buying that product and customers are giving you their feedback on that product. If you don't want to exist in this medium, don't create the video games that are pandering to an audience that don't want the game that you're making. I don't know how else to say this. This is insane. We commend and appreciate Sachi Schmidt-Hori's for addressing these topics directly and are grateful for her approach and her expertise. And now, as time passes since she worked on the project, Schmidt-Hori says her email box is largely back to normal and she can take a longer view. The abuse is very, very sparse now, she says. Oh, this is a way for her to beg for more abuse, by the way, by going, by the way, abuse in heavy quotes on that, by going on this call with Tom Phillip to talk about all this stuff and blame gamers, make you feel like shit, make you feel like you're the problem, make you feel like she's righteous and you're wrong the entire time. Don't you think that this is going to kick that dirt up again and you're going to start getting more abuse? If it was really that bad and things had been settling down, why would you be creating a documentary about it? And why would you be kicking up dirt with Eurogamer right now? Because it didn't offend you. It didn't affect you. You were taking advantage of it and you want the attention. That's what it comes down to. The problem is people like this Schmidt-Hori character cannot admit that. And that's where we find ourselves with this. They have this imagined version of this academic who is super woke, who wrote about weird stuff, who's married to this loser white man who doesn't, if anything, the dude you're married to is probably like rolling his eyes like, oh my God, what did I get myself into with this lady? It's an image of a figure that they are mad at, which is not me. So I don't take it personally. I'll be honest. I cannot take this person seriously. Just listening to the responses. This is someone who is not accountable for their own actions and wants to project all their insecurities on the rest of the world. And no, I don't feel bad for the abuse and the hatred that they faced by people criticizing the decisions that the game that they were paying for. Working in the shadows, how an Assassin's Creed researcher braved the backlash. And now she's back for round 2, guys. She's back for round 2. The modifier says, I can't take this article seriously. Hey, if anything, it was entertaining, but yeah, I can't take it seriously either. Yeah, exactly, Sergeant Sapient. It was entertaining.